So ever since becoming a minimalist over 2 years ago, there's so much that I've learned on this journey. But there are also a few things that I wish I knew before starting minimalism. I am really excited about today's video because it is a collaboration with Aaliyah. Her channel is Eco-Friend Leah, and her channel is also all about minimalism, sustainability, and her extreme minimalist wardrobe. So if you're looking for even more inspiration, definitely check her out. Let her know that you came from my channel, and also subscribe to her as well. She's also doing the same video where she's going to share things that she wishes she knew before minimalism. So I will leave a link to her video down below. So the first thing that I wish I knew is that starting is the hardest. When I first came across minimalism, I was learning so much information from watching other YouTubers that I didn't know where to start. It seemed very overwhelming at a time, so I wish that I knew that I had to just take it one step at a time and not overwhelm myself too much with so much information. You basically have to set a goal and start somewhere, and especially starting small, because once you start small, you kind of get that ball rolling and then you eventually get used to it, and the whole process just gets so much easier. When I first started minimalism, I didn't really have a goal. I just knew that I wanted to simplify my life. I didn't really know where to start or how to do that, so the very first thing that I started doing was decluttering. So I wish I would have told my past self that I should start small, so something like a junk drawer or a kitchen cupboard, somewhere along those lines, before I just jumped in and started decluttering basically everywhere in my house. Next thing I wish I knew is to not try and be the perfect minimalist. There is no such thing as a perfect minimalist. Everybody has different definitions of what minimalism means to them, and what minimalism looks like to me may not look like to you or to the other person, but everybody has their own definition of what minimalism looks like in their lives. I used to feel like I could only have a set number of plates or towels or t-shirts in order to be the perfect minimalist, which is definitely not the case. Also, to me, the perfect minimalist seemed to have their life together, and it seemed like their life was perfect. It seemed like they had no stress at all in their lives, and this is not true at all. There's no such thing as a perfect minimalist, and minimalism also does not solve all of your problems. I used to follow other people on Instagram or watch other minimalist YouTubers and wished that my home looked like that, or wished that my lifestyle was just like theirs, but I came to the realization after a while that just because this works for them, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for me as well. It's okay to look for inspiration for other minimalists, but I wish that I had known that I don't have to copy every single thing that they do or have done to their home in order to be that perfect minimalist, because there is no such thing as the perfect minimalist. I also wish I knew that it's not a one-time event. A minimalist journey is an ongoing process, and like I said, I've been a minimalist for over 2 years, and this is not just something that you start doing for a few months or weeks or a year. It's definitely a lifestyle change that is going to improve it and simplify it for the better. For example, decluttering is not just a one-time event. You are going to continuously be decluttering over time. Maybe in the beginning, yes, you're going to have a lot more to declutter than after a couple of years, but you're also going to be decluttering every once in a while after you are a minimalist for a couple of years. On my channel, I have a ton of videos. I have a decluttering playlist if you guys are interested in checking that out, where I shared basically everything that I've decluttered in my home, in my car, basically all aspects of my life. And in those videos, you will see that it wasn't just a one-time event, or I didn't get it all done in just one weekend. It took a lot of time, it took years to get to the point where I am. When I talk about decluttering or share myself decluttering, I don't want people to think that it was just a one-time event, because after you have decluttered over time, you're gonna find that you might need to declutter that space again. Being a minimalist isn't just a one-time thing. Decluttering is not just a one-time thing. It's something that you practice throughout your whole life. Another thing that I wish I knew before minimalism was that not everything in your life needs to be minimal. I've seen a lot of people say things like, well, I want to be a minimalist, but I can't because I love books so much. I can't let myself get rid of all the books that I love. And I ended up learning that if you love something and it brings you joy and happiness and you use it, you don't need to declutter it. You can keep it. It's okay. A lot of people feel like they can't be a minimalist because they love something so much and they can't let it go, which is totally not the case. Not everything in your life needs to be minimal. If you are just starting minimalism and you are starting to declutter and you're like, but I love this, I can't let it go, there is no minimalist rule that says you can't keep the things that you love. For example, an area of my life where I am not minimal is that I have a ton of candles. So if there's a really good sale, I will stock up on candles, and that is because I just love candles. I'm always burning candles in my home and I love them, so I am going to purchase a candle. Same thing with mugs. I actually do not have a minimal mug collection at all. I have more than 5 mugs and they all bring me joy. I use them all the time and I'm just never going to not be a minimalist with mugs or candles. Another thing that I wish I knew is that minimalism is unique to everyone. There is no one minimalist aesthetic that everyone needs to be following. Everyone has different definitions of what minimalism looks like in their life. When people think about minimalism, they think about black and white and boring neutral colors, which is definitely not the case for everyone. Like I said, minimalism is unique to everyone. Not everyone likes that black and white color scheme. A lot of people do, a lot of people don't. For example, if you look at my home doesn't look like the typical minimalist home. I have color in my home. I like color. I like neutrals, I like black and white, I like everything. And a lot of people just assume that minimalism is boring and there is no color, which is definitely not the case. A lot of Instagram accounts and Pinterest accounts have a very specific definition of what a minimalist home looks like or a minimalist wardrobe, but like I said, everyone is different. Everybody's home does not look the same. Everybody's wardrobe does not look the same. A person might have 25 items in their wardrobe and they consider themselves a minimalist, but then there could be also another person who has 50 items in their wardrobe, but they also use them all and love them all, and they consider themselves a minimalist as well. This is one of the things that I love about minimalism, is how unique it is to everyone, and it's always fun to see other minimalists and be inspired by them because their lifestyle may not look exactly the same as mine, and it's always nice to see how they consider themselves a minimalist and what it looks like for them, because what it looks like for them is not necessarily what it looks like for me. I also wish I knew that decluttering can be addictive. So nothing that is addictive is good, right? So I wish that I knew that I was going to get caught up in decluttering, and I am not saying that I have made any mistakes or have any regrets. Everything that I have decluttered, I found that I never once think about or miss, or I've never said, oh, I wish I hadn't decluttered that, because that's never applied to me before, but I have become addicted to decluttering. At one point in my journey, after I felt like I had decluttered almost all the aspects in my life that needed to be decluttered, I started to declutter for my partner. So that is definitely a big no-no if you are living with your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, a partner. You definitely do not want to declutter for them, because that can just cause a strain and arguments, and you don't want to deal with that. I had to learn that the hard way, and I wish I could tell my past self to never declutter for another person. You can always suggest to help declutter, or maybe talk about the idea of helping them declutter, but you definitely do not want to go through someone else's belongings and declutter for them, because you never know what you might be decluttering that is important to them or something that they may end up needing. The fact that I got so addictive to decluttering, I personally enjoy it so much. After doing it for so long, it's something that I do enjoy doing, and I was just you know, trying to do it with a good intention of trying to help, but definitely do not declutter for someone else. Just try to talk to them first about it and see if they want to declutter, and then if they do, then you can always help them out. I also wish I knew that decluttering does get easier. So in the very beginning, I was overwhelmed. I didn't know where to start, and over the past couple of years, now I declutter without thinking about it. Now I will go about my day, and if I'm using something, I will hold it up and look at it and be like, do I actually love this? Do I actually use this? Or if something that I just come across and I haven't seen in a while, I'll be like, do I still even need this? I just start asking myself these questions, and it makes decluttering so much easier. And now I feel like I am continuously decluttering without even thinking about it because of this habit that I've formed over the past few years. Before, when I started decluttering, I would set specific days and times and areas that I wanted to declutter, and now it's just kind of like an ongoing basis. I don't even think about decluttering anymore. It kind of just happens because I have developed that habit of just asking myself these questions and seeing if I need to keep it or if it's better off being donated or maybe given as a gift to someone who might need it and actually use it. If you're in that situation right now where you are decluttering and you find it very stressful or overwhelming, just take it one step at a time, and it's going to get a lot easier in the long run because you will develop that habit right away after decluttering for some time. So those are all the things I wish I knew before I started becoming a minimalist. I hope I was able to help some of you out if you are interested in starting minimalism or just don't know where to start. I hope that was helpful for you. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. Also, check out Leah's video. I will also leave it linked down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye. Just like them in order to be... Oh! Yes? I'm trying to make a video. Excuse me. What are you doing? No. Stand back. What was I saying?